Hey guys. Okay, somebody mentioned in a comment to do a video explaining the different classifications of dropshipping software. So I figured I'd do that. This is something I'm working on. I haven't finished it yet, so it doesn't include all the possible software. But the idea is you make a list here of the different kinds of software that could potentially exist, right? And because the reality is that most of the time, if you can think of a need for it, there probably is software for it already. So it's a matter of identifying what the need is and then figuring out, okay, if I assume that this does exist, how do I find it? Because chances are it's going to exist already in some form, or somebody has it and it's going to exist, most likely. Sometimes, obviously, it doesn't exist yet. It will be created soon. Eventually, it's all going to exist. It's better to just think that it already does, because then that enables you to find it most of the time, right? So let's go over this list really quick. First, I want to make the distinction between a suite and the rest of the kinds of software I say here, because a suite is something that accomplishes multiple tasks. So I'm trying to isolate the specific tasks that the software accomplishes. And so a lot of software does like one of them. Some software does 2 or 3 of them. Those are suites. They're pieces of software that do more than one simple task, right? So first we have listers. Listers are items that enable you to either list faster or they actually just list the item for you, like Hydra lister. Common theme in listers is starting off with a URL of an item, and then it either will post the item for you or it'll pull the item's information into a field, and then you can edit everything or you can just leave it as is, right? But at the same time, that right there is scraping. Scraping is when you're pulling data out of websites. And at its very core, that's all that scraping is. So there are times where, like, when I use a tool called Session Buddy, which allows you to grab URLs, right? So when I use that, no, not Session Buddy, sorry. I'm talking about Link Grabber. So what it does is it just grabs every URL on the page. That's a form of scraping. You're grabbing data from the web page, right? So aside from that, there's repricers, and repricers are things that look at prices of items and stock of items, and they typically will also include some kind of replenishment, which is when an item sells, then the repricer will set it back to its default quantity so that you don't have to remember to change an item to be back in stock every time that that item sells, right? So that's a form of automation as well, and a lot of these are automation of some form, right? So another two kinds of automation are ordering automation and tracking automation, and then third, return automation. Tracking automation is much more common. Ordering automation is probably the rarest. And then return automation, I don't really know too much about return automation because Walmart's return process is so simple, it's like barely consumes any of my time at all. So I don't really have to worry about that too much. But I'm sure it exists. I'm just not sure what software does it. It's probably more likely to be part of one of the bigger suites that charge like a per listing fee. Then we also have snipers. A sniper is a scanning tool where typically you start with a seller, and then the sniper will scan that seller's items and identify the ones that have sold multiple times and then tell you. So then you can know, hey, there's demand for this stuff, and then post it. You know, a lot of people take that a step further and then undercut those same people. I don't think that that's completely necessary. Like, you'll always get some quicker results with undercutting, but I think that you can use snipers to just show you what items are actually selling and then just post those items. You don't have to price competitively necessarily. Because for me, from the get-go, like, I can't be competitive. I'm selling Walmart items that are half the price I sell them for. There's no point in me being competitive. Like, I can just post things and then stuff happens. I don't want to pay attention to my competition. That's so much work and stress. Like, holy crap. So then we also have sales research tools. These are things like Terapeak or anything that gives you analytics about eBay sales and what people are searching for. Using sales tools is another way to accomplish what snipers accomplish, where when you're running an automation format dropshipping business, or optimization format dropshipping business, you have to figure out what is worth putting your time into, because you put a lot of time into individual listings. So you can use a sniping software to accomplish that, or you could use sales research to know that, hey, this particular item I really feel is worth selling because of the research that I've done using the sales research tool. So, all right, we've gone over the automation, ordering, tracking, return. Then there's bookkeeping software. This is software that enables you to, like, it helps you log everything so that you can pay your taxes to wherever you owe taxes, because this is something you can do from all over the world. So people are in so many different tax situations. It's crazy. I use Intuit Self-Employed. The reason that I like Intuit is because PayPal just exports to Intuit. So then it's all there, and I just have to go through it and make sure that it's right. I don't have to like manually add stuff in, and it enables me to separate my business expenses and regular expenses, and it's really just, it's wonderful. It's absolutely amazing. I love it. Okay, so then we have deleters. An example of a deleter would be fees delister. Ooh, I know what my next video is going to be. So this video is going to come out tomorrow because I just recorded a bunch of these in a row and I've set myself up for the next like 4 days. So now I've just told you about all these different suites, or all these different kinds of software. Next, I'm going to go through everything from memory, not from this document, but from memory that I know about, or that is a tool that I use. Okay? It'll be like useful tools or something. That'll be the next episode. All right, guys. Ciao.